Hi, it's Vicky from Single Mother Ahoy. Ignore the mess in the background. It's really messy. Yeah, it's Vicky from Single Mother Ahoy. I'm a blogger. I blog about life as a single parent, and life as a single parent at the moment means that my desk is so messy there's nowhere for me to put my arm. What even is this? Oh, it's cards. Cards. Of course I'd have those on my desk. So, I hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday. I hope everybody's had a lovely weekend. My Monday's actually been pretty good so far. Samara's gone off for her last ever Monday at nursery. But she's gone off with a smile, and yeah, everything was a bit peachy. The weekend, not so much. The weekend was a little bit stressful. She wanted to go out, but she didn't want to go out, but she did, but she didn't, but she did. And we were both not tired when we went to bed last night, despite the fact we were both a bit poorly. But hey. Anyway, so today I thought I would talk about, basically last week I had a couple of conversations with people that just really made me think, how dare you? Who the hell are you? And then I just kind of thought, no, it's not even worth having a discussion about. It's not even worth arguing about. Just rise above it. And then I made a big list of all the things that single parents have to rise above, and I thought I would do a live broadcast about it because, hey, what else am I going to do on my Monday morning? Certainly not work. So, there's a big list. I'm reading it off of a list because it's early in the morning and I'm unprofessional. So the first one, people assuming that you got pregnant on purpose just to get a house and benefits, because I don't know about you, but I really just aspire to live on the grubby council estate that we first ended up on. That was all I ever wanted in my life. And yeah, benefits, brilliant, yeah. Raking it in, I was, not so much. People just assume that, and they also assume that you're like, you know, benefits scum, or, you know, things like that. And it's like, well, hang on, like, isn't this what benefits are for? Like, for people who found themselves in a tricky situation. I didn't set out to become a single parent at all. Meanwhile, 20 gets off scot-free, doesn't, you know, nobody's, because he doesn't have, like, a child. Well, he does, but, you know, the absent parent generally can go around going, oh, I never get to see my child, and I'm skint because I'm paying so much maintenance. And the single mother's there, like, you know, struggling to put food on the table and hold down a job and everything else, while everybody kind of looks at her and calls her a feckless loser and how dare she be on benefits. And it's like, well, you know, benefits actually aren't that great. It's not that great to be on benefits. I don't enjoy relying on benefits to survive. I'm really looking forward to being able to phone tax credits and tell them they don't need to pay half of my nursery or whatever they were paying for Samara's nursery anymore. Nobody, as far as I know, I've never met anybody who went, really want to be on benefits. I know I'll get pregnant and then I will get a flat in the Friary as well. There probably are people out there. Actually, no, I know there are people out there who have children strategically to be able to avoid going back to work, but really they're not as common as the single parents who are just doing their best to get through life. People assuming you're uneducated. Somebody actually said to me the other day, well, I don't have children because I'm educated. So, like, only the uneducated people have a child. And I really wanted to say, oh, hang on, you know, I went to university, didn't stay there, but I went there. You know, I've got qualifications. I just don't have qualifications in what I'm doing now, so there's no point in me going on about it. I feel like saying, actually, I took the CF1 qualification in financial planning, didn't even read the book, passed. So, you know, like, oh, well, you know, only uneducated people become single parents, or only uneducated people become parents. Shut up. Just shut up. It's not true. We all know it's not true. We all know that you've got a chip on your shoulder about something else. Oh, I can't even read that. Oh, gosh, this is what happens when you make a note in the middle of the night. The government and the right-wing media, like, blame everything on us. Like, everything's our fault. I'm fairly sure they'll find a way to make cancer our fault. The Daily Mail is probably working on that headline right now. That everything's our fault, and, you know, and you just go, okay. Like, there's no point in me standing up and going, it's not my fault, I'm a single parent, you know. I accept that it's now my responsibility. But what happened to me, and what happens to a lot of single mothers, a lot of things happen, and it's not all their fault. Yeah, you know, we all take part of the blame for the situation that we're in, but it's not helpful to blame things on us, and it's not helpful to kind of go, oh, well, yeah, so we're going to punish you by not giving you any help, because, like, well, you're punishing the child, and they definitely didn't do anything wrong. Well, it definitely wasn't their fault. Oh, this is a great one. Other mothers acting like you're out to steal their partner. Yes, because I am single, I jump on anything that moves. Absolutely, I am after your husband. You know, you moan about him all the time. He's lazy, he's fat, he's useless, he smells bad, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I'm totally after him. What? Like, it just doesn't occur to people that I might just be happily single. I might not be looking for any partners, least of all yours, love. People asking where the father is. They either ask where he is, or if they know the story, they feel like, I need to know every detail about his life. Or did you know he's this? Did you know he's got Samara as his Facebook profile picture? Yes, I did, because people keep fucking telling me. Sorry, I swore then. But you know, did you know that he's this, that and the other? Did you know that now he's this? Did you know that? I don't care. Some of it I knew, some of it I didn't know. Don't need to know any of it. The only, you know, you could tell me all of that and I could get really cross about it, because actually every single detail about that person's life makes me angry. And if I knew all of it and thought about it, I'd be angry all the time. And then what kind of a parent would I be? Not a very good one. I don't care. I don't need to care. You're only telling me because you want to be part of the drama. There's no drama here. I'm sorry. Go and find drama elsewhere. Like, people are like, did you know, did you know, or where is he? Like, I don't know. I don't know where he is. He's not here. And I'm glad he's not here. Thank you. He doesn't pay maintenance. He's not part of our life. Who gives a shit? You know? He's just not here. That's just how it is. You don't need to know, and I don't need to know what he's up to. If you think you know something about his life, go and tell social services or the benefits people or the CSA, go and tell somebody else. I don't need to know, you know? None of it concerns me anymore, and it hasn't for a very long time, and it really, you just kind of have to go, no, I didn't know that, but thanks for telling me. Or could you not tell me anymore, because I don't need to know. Even members of my family play this game. They do it a lot, you know, like, and you're just like, I didn't need to know. Why do you think I needed to know? When was the last time I talked about him? When was the last time I told you that I wanted to know anything about him? Or I asked you a question about him? And how do you know anyway? Like, why are you following him around? People having an opinion without knowing the facts. So they'll be like, well, single parents, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, when's the last time you were a single parent? Oh, a single mother should, really? Or it's, so somebody commented on my blog once saying that I was damaging, this was an email after I was on the radio. You're damaging your child by not letting her see her father. And I was like, if you'd met him, I'm sure you would disagree with that statement. You would take it back. You know, people, you're damaging your child, or, you know, children should have both parents. Well, yeah, if both parents are worthy of caring for the child, if worthy of that, then absolutely. You know, if your relationship just goes a bit pear-shaped, and they're a good parent, then they should continue to be a good parent. That was not the case in my situation, and I'll thank you to not assume that it is just because you read a book once, or because you're more likely you read the Daily Fail and think it's all fact. Gosh, missing out on things because you've got no childcare, or your child's going through a difficult time and people offer to babysit, but you don't want to leave them with someone they don't know. Samara is really unsettled at the moment, and I've been asked to go to all sorts of things on weekends or days off or evenings. The only person I really trust with my daughter is my sister. My sister has a job now. She can't come running every time I need her to babysit. And people are like, well, you need to broaden your horizons, and other people have offered to babysit, and that's very kind, and I'm not saying it's not kind, but people seem to think that there's an issue there. There's not an issue. The issue is my daughter's very unsettled. She leaves nursery this week. She starts school again in a couple of weeks. It's all a big jump for her. It's all something very different. She's very unsure of herself at the moment. She's very shy. People that she usually says hi to when we're out and about, she'll just kind of cling to my legs. She's not interested. Why would I then leave her with a stranger for a couple of hours while I do what? Something that's actually not that important in the grand scheme of things. Once she's in school and she's settled, I'll reconsider, but right now, no. And people say, oh, but you need to have time to yourself. Yes, I do, but where were you 4 years ago? Like, don't turn around to me now and say I need to have time to myself because you want me to attend this event you're planning. Like, where were you 4 years ago when you could have actually kind of started babysitting when I was desperate. I was so desperate when Samara was a tiny baby. I phoned up, excuse me, I phoned the children's centre, I phoned my health visitor, I phoned everybody to see if there was anywhere at all that I could just get a couple of hours of free childcare so that I could just go and sit in a room and cry, basically. I was knackered. And there was nothing. The only way that you could get anything was for if your child was deemed to be at risk by social services, then they would get you a couple of hours here and there. That was the only way that you could get any time to yourself. Brilliant, okay. Like, there's literally nothing until you get back to work, and then you get childcare so that you can go to work, but only so that you can go to work. Otherwise, no. It's like, well, okay, like you shouldn't want to be. You're a mother now, and that's all you can ever be, and you shouldn't want to do anything else. The head on one side thing. So, oh, you're a single parent. Oh. Like, it's either, oh, you're so brave, really? Because I don't think I had a choice in the matter. Once you become a parent, you're a parent. You can't go, oh no, it's too difficult, I'm going to go, you know? You just crack on. Or like, oh, where's the father? Oh, like put your head back on straight and carry on, love. I don't need your pity. I don't need your concern. Don't need any of it. But instead of, you just go, yeah, like, it's a sucky situation sometimes, but actually most of the time it's not a sucky situation. Actually, most of the time, I'm very happy in my current situation, thank you. So put your head back on straight, carry on with your day. Don't need it. Oh, this is a great one. I still get this all the time. When Samara was first born, I had it a lot. It doesn't happen so much now because I basically don't have time for these people. But when someone says, well, I'm just like a single mother because my partner works nights or is only here at the weekend, or I'm basically a single mother because sometimes my partner has to go away for work. No, because when he comes home, he brings a paycheck with him. When he comes home, you can hand him the child and go out. You're not just like a single parent at all. You don't know what it's like to have all of that responsibility on your head. It is your job to get the money in the door. It is your job to put the food on the table, then to wash up afterwards, then to clean the floor, then to make sure there's food on the table tomorrow, then to do the washing up so that there's clean clothes so nobody thinks you're a bad mother, because everybody thinks single parents are bad parents. Like, that's, you know, you're not just like a single parent because your husband is in the army. Because he comes home at some point, you get his paycheck, you get the support, you know. That's, being a single parent isn't about just kind of not having somebody there when you need to go to the toilet, or not having somebody there and you need to take the child with you when you need to go and buy milk. That's not being a single parent. Being a single parent is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's who you are, and everything revolves around where your child is. That's, you know, you don't have any point where somebody comes home with a whopping great paycheck because they've been out all week working. You don't have any point when it's somebody else's responsibility to care for your child. It's always your responsibility. Even if you get childcare, even if somebody offers to have them overnight, even, you know, they're still only your responsibility. You are still 100% responsible for that child all of the time, with no let up, with nobody else to blame and nobody else to help that you can expect to help you. Then, you know, plenty of people do help and it's fantastic, but on the whole, you're the only one. Like, I am the only one. Oh, now my landline is ringing, but I don't know the number, so I don't give it to anybody. So whoever's ringing is going to leave a message about PPI, probably. Oh, the last one is the best one. I saved the best one for last. Gender inequality. I am a feckless single mother, blah, blah, blah. You know, single mothers, oh, the bane of our society. They, you know, they raise hooligans, blah, blah. Meanwhile, 20, who has 6 children at home, is a brave single dad doing it on his own because his wife just ran away and left him. He's brave. Isn't he brave? Hasn't he done well that his kids have all got shoes on this morning? Like, there's just this massive... And it happens in all... it happens everywhere. It happens in all aspects of parenting. So with parenting generally, the mum is expected to do the washing up, do the housework, bring in some money, make sure the kids are clean and dressed and blah blah, and feed them and change nappies and everything. And the man turns up, changes a nappy, and, oh, isn't he a good dad? Well, or he's babysitting for you. He's not looking after his children, he's babysitting so that you can go out because you have to ask him to babysit before you go out. It happens everywhere, but with single parents especially, single mothers in the media, we tend to be vilified and kind of, she's a bad person, look at this single mother, she's raised a hooligan, she doesn't care, she's too busy spending her benefits on booze and flat screen tellies. And meanwhile the single dad is just doing everything he can, and isn't he doing well? And, you know, like, single mothers are held to a much higher standard. If my child turns up without matching socks or, you know, grubby knees, whatever, then I'm a bad mother. But if his child turns up like that, well, at least he put socks on her feet, you know. And I saw that firsthand. People adore him. They think he's fantastic. Isn't he doing a great job? No, he's not doing a great job. It is an absolute miracle that social services have not taken those children away. You know, no. But yeah, I can kind of, yeah, bang. I don't, to be honest, I sound like a miserable so-and-so this morning, and it's because it's Monday morning and I've not had my coffee yet. Because it just, a couple of things that were said to me last week just made me quite cross. But I'm not the kind of person that's going to start a row in the middle of the shop. You know, it's just not... It's not worth it. But then you get to a point and you think, oh God, you just end up rising above it a lot of the time. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I mean, am I the only person that has this? Lots of single parents must have the same kind of problems, or the same things where people are just like, did you realise that, or did you know that he's this? Or, you know, you should be doing this, or have you thought about that? No, I hadn't thought about that. Oh, you know, silly me, because I don't think about ways to solve problems all the time. You know, lots of single parents we're all tarred with the same brush, and then we're all kind of blamed for our situation, and we're the problem with society, because, you know, it couldn't possibly be that the rich people are punishing the poor people for everything, and trying to blame the poor people for everything. Martin, yeah, I did think of you actually with the whole like I'm not babysitting thing, because I know you wrote an article about that. Depends on people's experience as single dads. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I don't have any experience as single dads except for that one, and he wasn't great, but I found that everyone else thought he was fantastic, and a lot of them still do. A lot of people think the sun shines out of him, and they are soon to find out otherwise, I think, because the tide is turning in that respect. So yeah, and I don't want to sound like I'm like banging a drum. Like, most of the time, I don't care. Like, it's my life, and this is what my life is, and I crack on. But you do end up rising above it, and I would say rising above it is, for me, the best way to deal with it, because I could argue the point every single time. I could answer people when they email me and tell me I'm damaging my child. I could answer the comments on my blog posts saying, you know, my taxes paid for your TV, and you're so useless, and you I could get into a row about it, and that would just lower my mood, lower everything, and like I'm going down to their level. It's not worth it. So rising above it, I think, is the only option, hence the title of this video. And the best thing you can do is just take a deep breath and go, like, you know, when you first have a child, and people are always giving you advice, and like one person will go, child should have a hat on, so you put a hat on, and the next person comes along and goes, why has your child got a hat on, they'll overheat, and you're like, and in the end, for me, you come to a point where there's a feeling in your gut of what is the right thing to do, and that's what you do. And people will tell you different things to do, and they'll tell you absolutely this is what you should be doing, and the only way around it is to go, thanks for that, you know, thanks for your advice, bye, and walk away. Because what else are you going to do? You're not going to argue the toss on every single thing, because they're always going to, especially with anything parenting related, people think if you're not taking their advice, it's because you think it's bad advice, and therefore they are bad parents. So the only thing with anything related to this, when people are, you know, it's just not worth getting in a row. People are going to judge you regardless, and they're still going to judge you. And if you get into a row with them in the middle of the street, they're going to judge you a bit more. So you just go, okay, I'm not meeting you for coffee again. Like, probably won't start a chat with you again in the queue. Like, people are going to, you know, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth arguing about. I don't do arguments anyway. I don't feel the need to, well, I suppose I do feel the need to justify myself, or I wouldn't be making this video and I wouldn't have my blog. But, like, if you're going to come at me and say, then I'm just going to go, all right, and then I'm going to make a video about it. And you will never know, because you don't read my blog. That's probably the most passive-aggressive thing in the world, isn't it? I think it's just not worth having a row about, because you're not going to change somebody's opinion. But I kind of came on here, not with the idea of changing people's opinions, but as a kind of like, am I the only single parent that gets this? Like, other single mothers must get the same sort of things, the same sort of, like, oh, you're going to steal my partner now because you're single, or you only got pregnant because you wanted a council flat. If you had seen the state of my council flat when I moved in, you would that would be blown out of the water. You would know that is such a ridiculous idea. All of these things, it just, you know, you just rise above it. You just take a deep breath and go, okay, whatever you say. Like, I don't care anymore what people think. I used to care what people thought. I thought what people thought. I cared what people thought most of my life, and it's only since probably Samara was about 6 months old that I started going, no, actually, I know what's the best situation, what's the best thing to do here, and I'm going to do it. And I ask people for advice, and I don't always take it, and sometimes that makes people cross, and I still don't care. She's my kid, and I'll do what I want. And right now, what I want to do is go and get some breakfast. I'm quite hungry. It is 6 minutes past 9, so I've been on about 15 minutes. Not as bad as the last one, which was like 4 years long. Everybody have a fantastic Monday. Do feel free to like, comment on, and share my video, because I like it when people do that. It makes me feel special. It really does. Oh, I'm such a geek. Have a fantastic Monday, and I'm going to try and do some more of these videos this week, because next week we are off. Samara leaves nursery on Friday. So have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic Monday. Do lots of smiling. Do lots of taking a deep breath and rising above it. And see you soon. Bye-bye.